Another thing that I find is very important when it comes to working with your team and socializing with your team is to make yourself very knowledgeable, and you'll feel a lot more confident than just having a little gimmick, you know? When you really know your craft and you know all sides of the video production, you don't rely on somebody. You can choose to deal with people if you want. It's great to work as a team, but you don't want other team members taking too much control. But you know how this works, you know how the production side works, editing, visual effects, CGI, compositing, whatever it is, you have power. And if somebody isn't cooperating, you can do it yourself. You have a bunch more options, and it makes it a lot more flexible and easier to deal with people because you'll be more confident, and others will sense that you're more confident, and they'll know, hey, if he doesn't want to work with me, he simply won't work with me. And when it comes to dealing with people, you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. That's part of the learning process. Making mistakes is inevitable, and learn fast. The faster you learn, the better chance you'll have an edge over the competition. And you need to be careful when dealing with people, dealing with the wrong people. And you have to know who are the wrong people to deal with for you and who are the right people to deal with. The best experiences I've had have been dealing with my family, you know, finding people that you can trust, people that you can talk to. Even my Fuzzy. Hey, Digga, where are you? Here he comes. My Fuzzy, Diego. I communicate and talk to him a lot, and it actually helps a lot. Whenever I verbalize something, I make my thoughts active, and I'm able to problem solve a lot easier. And I trust him, you know, and I can tell him anything, you know. He's more than happy to hear my voice. He's not a downer. He loves to hear me talk. I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm solving my problems by verbalizing them, and I'm spending time with my dog. See, he loves it. And it goes with all my family members. I talk to all my family members. Obviously, I talk to my dog the most because he's the most willing to listen to me 24/7. He loves to listen to me. But it's really important to be careful who you talk to. Talk to people that you trust. For me, the people that I trust the most is my family. Another issue that I see is when you're dealing with middlemen. I'm not necessarily against it. Under the right situations, I will, but I don't have to because I get my own clients. And that's another power too. When you get your own clients, you're not worrying about relying on other people for business. You're more flexible. If somebody's not working out, you simply just don't deal with them. It's not going to hurt you. And when you're dealing with a middleman, for one thing, you're usually going to be dealing with a bunch of other people that are doing whatever task that they're doing, their job for the team. And you don't have as much control over the end product, and you don't know how well they know their craft. And it can be difficult, you know, because let's say you're on post production. It's like you have to shoot to edit. When I shoot something, I shoot to edit. A lot of it goes toward post-production, happens in production and shooting. I'm constantly thinking, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to reframe in post. Like I'm always thinking ahead. I've got all my different tricks to make sure that I have all the shots that I need, more than enough, and I'll be able to put something together really nice for the client. It's nice to work on genuine projects. A lot of people, they're more into putting on a show when it comes to dealing with the commercial projects, and they'll have this huge team of people, more people than they need, you know, and it's just a hassle, more equipment than they need. They're more worried about putting on a show than actually doing a good job, and they'll be shouting random words, code this, that, you know, stuff that the client's not going to understand, but they're trying to impress them. And it's okay to put on a show, you know. It makes sense, you know. But you need to be producing something nice, a nice video for the client. Not just trying to collect money as quickly as possible and pretty much get out of there, you know. Leave it for the post-production guy to deal with the shit. And a lot of people used to come to me and approach me for these kind of jobs because they felt like I fit the perfect candidate, you know? I look like a kid with a lot of knowledge, somebody who's not going to speak up, somebody who's not going to give them too much of a hard time. But unfortunately, my personality and my looks don't match 100%. And it can throw people off once they actually get to really know me. I've learned to really make sure that I avoid those situations, because there's a lot of those situations. So when there is a big project, I think a lot of people tend to get desperate, you know. And when it comes to production shooting, honestly, for myself, I like to bring as few people as possible, just the bare minimum. Honestly, if you know what you're doing, you don't need a ton of equipment. You don't need a ton of people. You don't need to go out of your way putting on this elaborate show, spending a ton of money on one day, you know? Be smart. I mean, I do agree you do have to put on a show to a certain limit, you know? That's why, like, I don't go by myself. I make sure I bring somebody who appears older, even if they're just holding stuff, anything. It makes a huge difference. Like, so you do need to put on a show a little bit, but I'm more interested in doing a good job, producing a nice end result, a nice video that the client's gonna love and that I'm gonna be proud of. I've been able to do nice commercials for people just with a very small crew, just 3 people or so, you know? That's all you need. And that's shooting it with the Red Epic Dragon, and it's a decent budget commercial. You know, they're decent budget projects. There's a lot of good people, a lot of people that have good knowledge and that are very beneficial to you, but there's a lot, and I mean a lot of people that are gonna be a waste of your time. And you just gotta weed them out. To get to those good people, I think you have to strengthen yourself. You know, I believe you tend to attract people that are similar to yourself. But as you get better in your craft, you become more confident, you know your business, you know how to deal with people, you're gonna get better results. You're gonna start to associate yourself with better team members, better clients. It's inevitable, you know, you grow. So I think it's important to be genuine. Think about the bigger picture, because you can only get so far by just putting on a show. You know, get quick money, but you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow as an artist, as a video production company. If you do good work, you'll grow. People will recognize your skills, and you'll get hired for bigger and better projects. And it's just a continuous growing process. And when it comes to dealing with people, I always take responsibility for everything. I never blame anybody. If something goes wrong, I blame myself. I learn from it, and I make sure I don't make the mistake again. If somebody makes a mistake, it's my fault for hiring them. It's my fault for dealing with them. If I wasn't able to negotiate and get the results that I wanted, it's my fault. I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody. Even my Fuzzy, I take responsibility for what he does. If he misbehaves, it's my fault. I'm his owner. Eventually, you're going to deal with stubborn people. Whether there's stubborn people on your team, clients. You know, there's a lot of stubborn people. People are set in their ways, especially creative people. If people are creative, they're very emotional. They get attached to their ideas. And for me, one of the best ways is to make them think that it's their idea. Even if it's my idea and I'm trying to change their opinion, I try to make sure that it's their idea, you know? They thought of it, and I'm proud of that they came up with that idea. Well, a lot of times you don't want to fight fire with fire. With me, fighting fire with fire, although it can be somewhat tempting sometimes, it doesn't work very well. I look like a kid. They keep pushing even harder. It'll end up into something really nasty. I try to work around it, try to control my temper, and try to work something out. A lot of times you get a lot further by not fighting fire with fire, you know? That's all we have to say today. So, bye. My best friend, he's Fuzzy. My best friend, he's Fuzzy. My best friend. That's it.